Charlie and Sammy may have died, but it wasn't the end for them. The extreme agony caused by Springlock deaths had them manifest as incredibly powerful, incredibly dangerous spirits. Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie. They were angry at William, but also at Michael for getting their sister killed. Soon, Michael began to have nightmares of being haunted by monstrous versions of the animatronics. This was Shadow Freddy's doing. These nightmares caused Michael to develop a fear of the animatronics. Michael's friends, Jeremy Fitzgerald and Fritz Smith, didn't understand what was going on with him, and he began to become isolated. As Fredbear's closed down, the characters were bought out by Fazbear Entertainment, and the spare suits were sent to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. There, Shadow Freddy planned to get revenge on William by any means necessary. In 1985, she possessed the Fredbear suit and lured 5 children to the safe room. Susie, Jeremy, Gabriel, Fritz, and finally, Andrew. She hoped William would be blamed for the murders and arrested, but as a backup plan, she decided to stuff their bodies into the animatronic suits. Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, Foxy, and the last one, Andrew, she put inside the Fredbear suit itself. William found the stuffed animatronics shortly after, just as planned. He was arrested, leaving Ralph in charge of Fazbear Entertainment. He chose to shut down the current location and prepare to open a new one. The new location opened 2 years later, in 1987. Michael visited his father, who told him about the strange things he saw happening around the original Freddy's. By this point, he knew something was happening, so he told Michael to go to the underground facility below Fredbear's, where the Circus Baby's animatronics were sent after the location closed down. Down there, Michael found the facility surprisingly active. Guided by the voice of Circus Baby, he worked as a technician for the animatronics over the course of 5 nights. On the 4th night, Circus Baby kidnaps him, trapping him in the unused Funtime Chica suit, but he escapes. On night 5, he finds the broken shell of Circus Baby, who has been broken down the entire time. The voice guiding him was not Circus Baby. It was Shadow Freddy, possessing a prototype Funtime Freddy endoskeleton nicknamed Yendo, to scoop each of the animatronics and merge them together, creating Ennard. At the end of Michael's final night, he is lured to the scooper by Yendo and Ennard, who use it on him. Ennard goes inside Michael's skin and escapes the facility. As Michael's skin rots, Ennard ejects itself from his body. This should have been the end for Michael, but some of Elizabeth's remnant left behind by Ennard caused him to survive. Ralph's new Freddy's featured new versions of Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica with a facial recognition system and criminal database in hopes of avoiding an incident like the last one. He also tried to have a new version of Funtime Foxy made, but it was never actually finished, so it was kept in a boarded up room and nicknamed The Mangled. He also brought back 2 old characters from the circus, the balloon twins BB and JJ. Finally, he remodeled the puppet into an actual attraction for the prize corner. William, having escaped prison, gets a job under the fake name Dave Miller. He had to mess with the animatronics' facial recognition systems to avoid being recognized. But things got much worse than he could have imagined. Shadow Bonnie was there, possessing the Spring Bonnie suit. And while Shadow Freddy was busy with Michael in the bunker, he attempted to get William arrested with a second missing children incident. Shadow Bonnie went around the pizzeria and murdered 6 children, but he never actually had time to hide the bodies because William found him. Assuming someone was in the suit, William shined his light at it, hoping to get a glimpse at who was inside, but then the suit just froze. He checked inside to see it was empty. William was frightened by this experience, and so he decided to switch to the day shift. William was replaced by Jeremy Fitzgerald, one of Michael's friends. Shadow Bonnie, recognizing him as someone close to Michael, comes up with a plan to manipulate the animatronics into going after him. He told them all that someone in a security guard uniform killed them, and so the angered animatronics began making their way to Jeremy's office. Jeremy managed to survive by wearing a Freddy mask and trick the toy animatronics and shine the old animatronics with his flashlight. While William did go under investigation, nothing ever came out of it. William seemed safe. Until the Spring Bonnie animatronic was brought back out for a special occasion, and something very unexpected happened. Seemingly out of nowhere, the animatronic attacked William, biting him in the head. William was rushed to the hospital. He was alive but stuck in a coma. His frontal lobe had been bitten out. This incident became known as the Bite of 87. Jeremy was transferred to the day shift and was replaced as night guard by Fritz Smith. That same night, Shadow Freddy returned, using her agony to corrupt the animatronic souls, giving herself partial control over them. The animatronics were now more aggressive than ever. And after that, Fritz ran away and promised himself to never go anywhere near Freddy's again. Following the second missing children incident and the bite, the new Freddy's quickly closed down. The new animatronics were left abandoned there, while the old ones were returned to the old Freddy's in hopes of fixing it up. Meanwhile, in William's mind, he awakened in a strange world filled with small, colorful versions of these characters. This was the spirit world, which William had ended up in thanks to all his contact with ghosts. In the form of Freddy, he was sent on an adventure through this world, but the spirit of Andrew occasionally came through to him, giving him tasks he didn't fully understand, but he promised would be important later. By the end, William wakes up, confused, to find Freddy's has opened again. 1993. By this point, all the incidents at Freddy's had ruined the business. Almost nobody wanted to work there, so Ralph had to do basically everything himself, including the night shift. Shadow Freddy, seeing William's son there at night, once again sent the animatronics to go after him. As he learned how to fend off the animatronics, he began recording messages for any guard who may replace him, until one night, Shadow Freddy showed up in person to finish the job, stuffing him into the original Freddy animatronic, now known as Cake Bear. With Ralph gone, the place was going to shut down, but they needed someone to watch it the week before it closed. Michael got the job, hoping to learn more. Michael managed to survive his week before being fired as the location closed down. Shortly after, William broke in, thinking it was his best chance of ending this. William destroyed the animatronics one by one. Unfortunately, things did not go as planned, as the spirits cornered him. He quickly put on the Spring Bonnie suit, hoping this could somehow get rid of the spirits. Andrew, at the front, disappeared, but this was all going according to plan. Shadow Bonnie, possessing the suit, caused the spring locks to switch into animatronic mode, crushing William inside. Shadow Bonnie didn't let William die. That wasn't enough. Instead, The shadows trapped William in an endless nightmare, facing animatronics from the past, present, and future. Cassidy tried to stop them and convince them to move on, but they couldn't. Cassidy left, and William was left trapped for the next 2 decades.